shook me, eh? I'm just carrying on a bit. You're an animal. Whether you are watching us on YouTube or listening to us on your favourite podcast platform, welcome back to the Torq podcast.
Welcome back. Your boys are back.
We're here to do it again, brother.
We are here to do it again.
A little late, mate. Are we a little late?
Oh, I think we're always late, but
Yeah,
that's okay.
but we're here.
The people know. Look, if you're listening now and you expected us to be on time, shame on you at this point.
Yeah. Yeah, you know the saying.
That's right. But we're getting around to it, and that's the main thing. Tell you what, there's been some stuff going on since our last potty, though. I've got some notes. Every now and again, I've got a little thing on my phone, and if it comes to my head, I just sort of jot it down, and I'm like, damn, there's a couple of things in here to talk about.
I do that too, but I don't jot down part.
Yeah, you just go, that. I'll remember it.
I'll be like, I'll do that in a second. Never do it.
Never do it.
That's all right.
Yeah. E85 prices come down. We're a little bit surprised on that. A little bit, not by much.
I need to fix you up for that still, actually. I just remembered.
Probably do.
Yeah. Oh.
You know
where I
live. Yeah. But no, it was good. We got some fresh corn for the VR, so we can do some further testing.
Yes. What have I got? We're just going to get straight into it. That's what I've been doing. Not working on my car. Working on other people's cars.
Yeah.
As per usual, standard deal. But, yes, getting the car sorted for Holly Pro Dash. Got the cluster and the dash on its way and all that kind of cool stuff. And the little harness and all that shit for it. So I just need to, honestly, find the time, which isn't happening yet.
Yeah.
Or really probably even any time soon.
You've got the sensors that you need.
Yeah.
You've got the
I've got everything.
dash insert. You haven't got the dash yet. But
but it's happening.
Yeah, you can get the dash. So kind of found that we needed a little bit more I/O for your setup.
No, I just wanted a dash.
Well, that too. But the I/O certainly isn't going to hurt because we were kind of a little bit limited on, say, what we could do with the water pump and the thermo fans. Just, if we wanted to get a little bit froggy with it, we were kind of limited.
Yeah.
So having the dash, for those of you who aren't aware, the Holly setup, essentially this is how they get you. They give you just enough I/O to be dangerous, inputs and outputs, that is. And then if you want any extra, the CAN keypad and that, it's not that crash hot. So you just get the dash because it's touchscreen and it's got switches on it.
That's when you're talking about Terminator.
Yeah.
As soon as you get a real ECU like HP or a Dominator, you're laughing.
Yeah. Got heaps of I/O there.
Yeah. It's just, honestly, for the money, they were cheap. They are still cheap, but they were crazy cheap when they first come out. $999 US they were when they first come out.
For a Terminator, yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. First gen Terminator.
But yeah, really good. So I don't know. I'm looking like I want to do it, but I've just got other commitments. So I've just got to get through this work that I'm drowning in, and then we're going to be laughing.
Yeah. Like a lot of people say, you just got to bite off more than you can chew and chew like fuck.
Yeah.
And at the moment, your jaw's a bit sore.
No, but it's all good.
Yeah.
It's all good. At least they're good projects.
Yeah.
Good stuff. So
absolutely.
Yeah. No, it'd be good.
Awesome.
This is going to be some cool cars.
I've got some parts coming back for the SLE. So finally, some of these long lead items are starting to come back. I don't know if I said it in the last podcast. I don't know if it was back yet, but I've got the dash and the center console back. All my headlight trims, window trims, all that sort of stuff, they've been off to be repaired and chromed up and polished and all that. So they're coming back hopefully next week.
Hopefully they don't get damaged, and hopefully they're in absolutely immaculate condition because you paid through the nose for that stuff.
I'll tell you what, if they are not shining like a diamond in a goat's asshole, I will be very disappointed.
Yeah.
Because
your asshole's probably sore right now.
It is stretched.
Yeah. You've been dabbing it all week, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Wet wipes.
Yeah, in the fridge.
Yeah.
I've got like the Waco next to the toilet with the wet wipes. So cold dabbing because, your boy's suffering.
Yeah, but if they're mint, it's worth it.
Absolutely, yeah. And I'm quickly realising that this tidy streeter is kind of turning into a top 60 build, which sucks. But it's awesome at the same time.
At least you didn't go super spastic with the paint, so when we do scratch it, it's not like...
Yeah. Not if. Not if.
Like, we're not going to have to, like, fight over it.
Yeah.
Because if you scratch it, I'm punching you in the head. And I'm sure you'll do the same if I scratch it. So it's going to... I know look, in the comments, if you're on the bloody social media or whatever, or send us a friggin' message, who's going to scratch Jeff's car first? We'll put the odds up. Guaranteed you're scratching it first. Guaranteed. Guaranteed you're going to scratch it first, which I'll be happy with.
All right.
Because I don't want to scratch the fucking thing.
No one.
I just think you will.
I probably will. Because if anyone is going to scratch it, it probably would be me.
That's right.
Wrecking ball.
But you've got pretty much... What don't you have now to complete it as far as a car without driveline?
Like body-wise?
Yeah, just like as car... without sort of suspension and driveline.
Oh, okay.
Like I'm talking interior, like roller sort of thing.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, right. So I've got the diff, like I've got a shortened diff, but I don't have like a center for it. So I'd probably need, a decent center. But I've got, shortened diff, which will get it off the ground. I've got 2 sets of struts now. I did get... another set of front struts, which that'll be a conversation for later on. But body and paint, that's all sorted.
That's done, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like you gonna do like a new grill, or you're just gonna paint yours?
I'll probably just buy.
That's what I'm getting at. Like you've literally got pretty much everything brand new or restored to brand new, like everything except for maybe in seats.
Yeah, seats aren't done, so I'll probably buy a new grill because Rare Spares do one, and by the time you fuck around painting mine, probably negligible. So I'll probably buy the new grill. I need to buy some new carpet because the carpet, is toasted and it's cheap. And just for hygiene, really.
Yeah, you're not going to put a fucking crusty old 83 carpet in it.
No. I'll probably get the door cards steam cleaned. They'll probably be okay. I'd forgotten, honestly. It's been that long since I've looked at them. The seats, there's a couple of panels that I might get picked out. I've got 2 roof linings, and the roof lining material in the SLE is the same velour that's on the seats. So I'll probably unpick a couple of the slightly sun-faded panels and have them replaced by that roof lining, and hopefully that'll tie in okay, because I don't want to pay for a full retrim.
No.
I've still got to buy things like, I was just realising the other day, I've still got to buy things like a shifter, a drop box. I do have the dash.
I thought you had a shifter.
I do have a gated shifter.
You don't want to use it?
But I want to use a ratchet shifter because I can say you can use the Build Ninja.
I'm with it. Yeah.
Light up panel.
Yeah,
so
you want it sort of look stockish.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
even though it's going to fucking sound like the world's ending.
Yeah.
The car.
No.
You're like, nah, it's got a stock shifter or a stock looking shifter.
It's got a Brocky cam in it. And
a fucking 12-inch dash. This thing looks like the fucking... What's the space shuttle? Apollo fucking 13 or something like that?
Or Starship Enterprise.
Yeah, something. One of them.
One of them.
One of them fucking things.
I've got wheels. I've got 2 sets of wheels, Curto.
Yeah, I know. That. You know what I like about that is that means that
I've got options.
And I've got a set of wheels at that point, because you can't run 2 sets of wheels at once.
Yeah, you're sitting there going, no, Jeff, we've got we've got wheels. Yeah. So, and look, there's every possibility that if it comes to it, that there's 1 set of wheels that's probably very, very pedestrian, shall we call them, and then there's another set of wheels that are very, very fancy and high dollar.
You're not going to tell the people?
No, they can wait.
Okay.
Because not only, if shit goes pear and I need some money, then I'll probably have to sell the wheels.
I don't like that thought.
I don't like that thought either. But if I have to sell the wheels to get it done, then that'll probably be a thing. So I don't want to go telling people because, then you remember that kid at school that said he was going to get that bike, going to get it, and he never got it. That'd be me with the wheels if I ended up selling it. And people are like, I thought you said you had. No, shut up.
Turns out I'm a poxy dog.
Yes, that's right. So, but no, you're right. To make the body a roller, I'm pretty close. There's just only hours.
Yeah.
Yes.
You're ready for the work part, Jeff. You've
I've
You've avoided that. Well, not avoided it, but it hasn't come for a long, long time, and
No.
now that's really all that's left.
Well, see, the work part was done at paying jobs so that I could afford to buy the shit that I needed. So, yeah. But no, we are making some headway there, which is pretty exciting.
It's always fun when parts roll in.
Yeah.
That is.
It's
one
a
of
dopamine.
it's one of the highlights of building cars, I reckon.
Yeah, it's a dopamine rush every time you get that little package. And dude, I'm almost considering getting the number plates for this car Marketplace, because literally the whole thing's been built on Marketplace. The wheels, the dash, the ECU, the engine, the gearbox, the diff, even like the rear quarters, the front nose cone, like pretty much I haven't.
Well, that's what you're going to
anything
get
retail.
when the car was. What, this is an 82 model.
Yeah,
80.
yeah.
Like.
Yeah, you can't just walk into a store.
Yeah, Holden's doesn't have them anymore, so that's where you're at.
But
That's the fun part, though.
yeah, the thrill of the chase is the thing. Actually, let's talk about that. So Marketplace, right? It is exciting because you are doom scrolling on Marketplace looking for something, and then there's the negotiation, the haggle, and then because you kind of get multiple dopamine rushes there. You get the dopamine rush of finding the thing that you want, then getting it for a price that you think is good, and then the arrival of it. So it's like the gift that keeps on giving.
Every step of the way, there's potential to be let down, though, as well.
There is.
Because a lot of people don't know how to marketplace properly.
Or a lot of people do know how to Marketplace and not give you your shit.
Yeah, they know how to fucking put your money in their pocket.
Yeah. Thankfully, knock on wood, I've been very fortunate in that hasn't happened to me yet. And honestly, it's a wonder, because some of this stuff is pretty high dollar, and I'm buying it, say, from the other side of the country, sight unseen, from a person I don't know. You do put a fair bit of faith in, but thankfully, most of the people in the car community are pretty genuine sort of people, and they're not out there to blatantly rip you off. And
Some are.
some definitely.
It's funny
are.
when you get something off, say, like, I'm not going to say a forum because we haven't had forums for ages, but like off a group or something. Like I've had it before. My wife's gone like, oh, where are you getting that from? Because she doesn't know what it is or where the fuck it's coming from. If it's from a shop, we're like, oh, fucking Joe Blow. Do you know him? Nah, but he's like on the groups all the time, and he's like this, so he's solid as.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
you know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
when someone's active on there,
yeah, he's a known character.
yeah.
Yeah. Certainly helps.
They definitely put you at ease a little bit anyway.
Yeah. And the side conversations, so like you bought the thing from old mate, and then they sort of go, or they'll ask you what's it being put on, or you'll ask them, what did it come off, and whatever, and you just start talking cars for a bit, and you get some really cool conversations. I've been, again, fortunate to meet some awesome people, and like I was saying, I've got 2 sets of front struts now. One will have, well, it's currently got shocks and springs and sort of stock brakes on it, but I wanted to get another set of struts so I could put coilovers on. But I didn't want to do that with the set that I've got, because I kind of want to put them in the car and get that off the dollies. But, people in the local community, I'm going to shout him out, Mark Turnbull, when he saw me post on a group saying I was looking for some struts, like, bro, I've got some sitting down the side of my house, come get them.
Take them off me hands.
Yep. And, he lives a fair hike from me. So I was buying another thing on Marketplace for my car. And I said to this dude, oh, great, thanks for locking that deal in. I don't know when I'll get to you. It'll probably be in a week or 2 when I'm next in that area. But my next battle is to try and get these struts from old mate, who's another 45 to an hour away. And he goes, oh, I'm going to be in that area next week. Do you want me to just pick them up for you? And then I was like, bro, are you for real? He's like, yeah. So Tanner D, he had Conflict VH, if you remember that. It was a gangster.
Sick car.
2-tone SLE with the hidden turbo. Bought a couple of bits and pieces off him, and he went to Mark's place, picked up the struts, and then I was going to go to his place and pick them up, but I ended up meeting him at a brewery. He bought them to me. So he earned himself a pint that day.
Beautiful.
Love it.
Beautiful.
And that's just a feel-good story, you know? That's good when that shit happens. Since our last, because it's been probably, 6 weeks since it happened, but since our last sit down, I entered the Bunbury Burnout Challenge, Curto.
Fuck, is that how long ago our last podcast was?
It was.
Wow.
Well, we did a podcast with Chris Dicker afterwards.
Oh,
But
that's right, yeah.
The last one where we sat down, we haven't spoken about it. So I entered the Bunbury Burnout Challenge in the Friday Smoke for Dough competition, which was awesome. Thanks to all the organisers and particularly the owner of the car, Brad Devlin, for giving me the seat.
I've seen it's advertised today.
I did see that.
I haven't had a chance to message him yet.
And ask
Busy
him,
today.
what are you doing?
Yeah, because it was all go.
Yeah, we'll
was
see
all
now.
go a
It's got
couple of
that
weeks ago.
Torq Hub tax, doesn't it? It's like as seen on Torq Hub ripping skids. Now it's worth like 800 grand.
200 less.
Yeah, dude, they put in the most amount of effort to get this event off the ground. They had really good sponsors on board. They got a scaffolding company to make like tiered grandstanding like you'd see at Summer Nats. It was a really big effort. They spent $20,000 on pad extensions to make the pad bigger, better, badder for the event. But as we all know, you can plan for everything but the weather. And the day before the heavens opened up. Now, the problem being is that the event was at the Bunbury City Speedway. Now, what's a speedway track built on, Kurt?
Clay.
Yeah. What happens when clay gets
Mud.
wet? It's fucked. Proper. And it was horrible. Obviously, that's not on the pad, but it did.
You've got to
make
drive over that shit.
Yeah,
to get
it
there,
was
though.
pretty bad for people getting around. Now, everyone was pretty cool about it because, I mean, shit, what are you going to do? Pad got wet, but we managed to dry it off. And, you know, just for the love of the sport, people were literally getting in there and making it happen. So I was pretty proud to see that happen. Got to remember that we've said it 101 times, but the burnout thing isn't really our scene. So for me to be there, and I didn't have my normal support network like I didn't have you.
I left you clean in the lurch as per usual.
But you know, just kind of felt like I was on my own at the start, but then to, you know, breach conversation with people, and obviously there was a couple of people who knew who I was. So yeah, it was really welcoming. Very encouraging. Everyone's like, man, just get in there, have a crack. And I'm like, bro, I'm not going to win anything. And a couple of them, and some of these guys have done it heaps. They're like, you never know on the night, man. You just get in there and send it. So it was pretty cool. Got to say, obviously tagged the wall in my practice skid because it started to rain during my practice. Locked up the front brakes and she just nudged the wall. Could have been worse. It was a flesh wound. Right?
Little scuff.
Yeah. But the Friday skid was much better. Much, much better. Obviously, the track was drier. Kind of got the first skid nerve jitters out of the way and just had a little bit of wheel time in the car because I'd never driven it before. And this thing was a fresh build, budget build, very budget. And yeah, just went out and gave it a crack.
Did you have fun, Jeff?
I had a great time.
Well, there you go.
Yes.
That's the most important thing.
Yeah, I did have a great time. There was a couple of things because now, you know, look, I'm a skid expert now,
Pretty
Kurt,
much.
so get ready for my technical analysis.
Yeah. You can do some tutoring.
Yeah, I think the car needs more wheel speed because you were kind of locked in third gear. You couldn't get it any further than that. It was just taking too long to get the tyres off, which means obviously the car gets quite hot before the end of the skid. So I reckon if you can get it into fourth gear, it was just the way that it was, because it still has the factory 6-speed in it, this VE Commodore. So if you could get some more wheel speed in it, if you could maybe upgrade the cooling system, like maybe put an expansion tank for the cooling system so you just got more water capacity.
Do you need that for that, though?
I don't know, it seems like a lot of people have it, particularly because this thing's running pump fuel. It's not like it's running ethanol or methanol to try and keep it cool, so it does get pretty warm. But I reckon otherwise, it's honestly, if you had a 6-litre VE and you slapped a cam in it and a dirty exhaust on it, that'd be a ripper little party car that you could get on a budget. Because I think Brad said he probably, at the time, he had about $5,000 in it, which... Obviously, he's done a whole bunch of wheeling and dealing to get it there. A lot of favours. But, yeah, it's a lot of fun for not a lot of money. But just like every other motorsport, you get to that level. if you start going, oh, I wouldn't mind putting a blower on it, but now you're in the pro class. So now to be competitive, you've got to X, Y, Z, you know. But I had a fat time, man. It was a shame that you couldn't make it.
Yeah, that's just how it is. It's how it be sometimes.
It is.
But yeah, thanks Brad anyway for the opportunity.
Yeah, and they've said they'll hold the door open to do something with us next year as well, so which would also be cool. Did enjoy. I guess we could move on to what would be this month's hot topic, Curto.
This week's hot topic.
That's hot.
Hot topic is probably Motor X.
Looked like the year of the early Commodore.
Yeah, and not just early Commodore, it's some of the second gens as well.
Yeah, well, they're considered early now, aren't they?
No.
They kind of.
No, I've got an early Commodore, so I'm going to be the guy that says
Yeah,
no.
whatever.
Yeah, this year, I think, same with Summonas, they kind of go in ebbs and flows, right? You kind of get a couple of really big banger years of cars that really pique your interest, and then maybe 1 or 2 years where cars are still in the build or whatever. Like, it's not always banging. Like,
no.
it doesn't always hit the same,
Yeah,
but you can
100%.
tell that this year, not only were the entrants hot to trot, but Motor X also put in the effort to really step it up.
I think Adrian Portelli had a lot to do with that.
Yeah,
Because I think I seen a quick interview where he was saying like the year before, like you could sort of see it sort of, like you were saying, on a bit of a downward spiral, and it was sort of looking like not the best, like it probably wasn't going to be around forever. And this is just my interpretation.
Yeah.
And he sort of said, fuck that, he's a like a legitimate car nut, that guy. He really is. Like
Yeah.
there's definitely a legitimate passion for cars and
Motorsport.
modified cars and
Yeah.
just the scene like in general. Like he really only seems to give back, really. I mean, not that it could probably ever offer him much anyway, but
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I thought it was cool to see. Like, you know, when you just hear people say things, you're like, oh, I've changed my mind a little. I always thought he was pretty cool anyway.
Yeah.
From the stuff that I have seen of him, but like, yeah, good on him, I reckon.
Yeah.
So,
well,
I mean you're not going to give him all the credit, but he definitely, you know, he took all his fucking million cars that he had there, and yeah, and just their presence alone, a lot of people follow that crew. So,
well, as a part owner of Summonats, he was kind of financially invested to be there as well, right? Because Motor X is run by the same group of cats.
Yeah.
So,
but even besides that, just the cars, the amount of new cars, unveils.
Yeah. Yeah. It was very high quality, and I think, well, I guess it depends on what you're into, but for us, for you and I, and the kind of cars that we're into,
I think the scene is, we're into what sort of the scene is really.
We were
now.
very well catered to this year. There was a lot of very sort of pro street inspired, very like tough sort of drag and drive type, you know, like high performance street car.
There's a lot, like even just pretty much full on race cars that are detailed to the nth degree. Like that's really what a few of the standout cars to me were like.
Yeah, for sure.
Everything is built to go. All the hot stuff's all built to go sixes, and looks like it could, you know, like it's easily top 60.
Yeah,
that's just the caliber of what gets the attention now.
Yeah,
and I'm all about it.
That sort of show, Motor X, is probably best suited for that kind of display as well, because you're not going to bring, say, and we'll touch on the build later, but BT1 King, you're not going to take that to Summonats, because what are you going to do with it? You can't be fat arming Tough Street in it. You're not taking it on the burnout pad. You know, like it's just not, that car is built to race, but like you say, top 60 quality, let's put it on show. That's probably where Motor X comes into its own. And it's a strange thing because, like you say, I think a lot of people were moving away from static car show displays, but now they're starting to come back because that's where you get to see this, because you don't get to see...
They're built to that same quality of what the older
Grand
sort
Champions.
of like your show car with all your bloody display, like it's built to that quality, but it has a purpose, and that purpose is to go fast,
stupid fast.
So, you know, whereas before it was more or less probably too neat to drive around on the street.
Yeah,
for most people. not super functional.
Let's have a bit of a yarn about a couple of the cars. Here's a couple that I were sort of standouts for me. Shout out to good friend of the potty, mate of ours, Charlie Dixon. RBHX. That thing turned out super nice as an unveil, didn't it?
Yeah.
So HX Ute was his grandfather's, which they believe he bought brand new, was a farm, paddock basher for many years, and dragged it out, and the thing looks unreal now, hey?
Yeah.
Pristine white.
Very basic looking, really.
Very
Let's
basic.
be honest.
Well, and that's what he was shooting for,
Absolutely. It's not the sort of car that's going to grab everyone's attention and think, fuck yeah, that's, amazing.
Yeah.
Until you get to it,
Yeah.
It's got the hubcap, the original sort of Holden hubcaps, white paint, so you already lost a lot of the wow factor from a distance.
Yeah.
But yeah, then you get up close and, it's got a billet engine in it, Jeff. For crying out loud.
3.2 litre billet RB.
Very cool.
Ready to send.
Now, on that subject, I watched a little part on a Herman from Platinum Racing. They did featured, I think, 4 or 5 different cars just in a short video that they did, and he sort of had Charlie on there and was talking about the Ute, and Herman was very, very impressed with it, and he's building. Turns out he actually has an old Holden Ute that he's been doing up forever. That was his first car he's ever had. Was a Holden, an old H series Ute, and he wanted to sort of relive those memories, and he was doing something with a big block in it, and reckons now that he's seen what Charlie's done, he's like, nah, fuck it, I'm an RB to the core, so I'm going to put an RB in it. So he'll end up doing a billet RB in that one. So Herman went up about 10 notches after that insane thing you get to learn people just listening to him talk, and the fact that he even was interested in Holden Utes, I was like, fuck, I never would have thought that. I thought he was like JDM YOLO swagger till he dies,
Yeah.
So it was cool to learn a little bit about him, and yeah.
Yeah. No, it was awesome. Just the, same thing, fit and finish. It's very understated, but very, even just the, Cerakote on the...
Yeah, he's definitely...
the intercooler
it's
piping.
unique for there.
Yeah.
They've sort of done it in a brown colour that matches the leather or the vinyl or leather or whatever it is on the interior of those old cars. So, dare to be different.
Yep. He kept with the golden rule, Curto. 3 colours.
No more than 3.
You're allowed 3 colours. He went white, black, brown.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, his other cars, the fab work on it's mint. He's got good people.
Yeah.
With all he uses good trades and good people. So his builds, the ones that he wants to be nice, are always really nice.
He's certainly getting around too. You can definitely tell that the footy was certainly getting in the way of his car career towards the end there.
He's a fucking car nut for sure. He's his car guy that just happened to be good at football.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And now that he's retired, he's like, right, let's do the car thing.
Yeah.
Awesome. Best of luck to you, mate. I can't wait to see the HX. He said it's not going to be like a drag and drive car. Obviously, he's got the Monaro for that, but it'll be cool to see what its potential is anyway, that HX Ute. Because, billet 3.2, it'd have to be a 4-figure horsepower car. Surely.
Yeah, with more turbo. Oh, actually, it might even have enough on it. I can't remember what turbo it had on it.
Yeah, I can't remember either.
A 42 or a 45. Either way, plenty.
Heaps enough.
Yep.
Heaps enough. Black Tie, VK Brock Tribute. That was a car after my own heart. 383, Holden V8, Bain tunnel ram.
The stance on it was ridiculous, wasn't it?
Ridiculous.
Absolutely perfect.
Very, very nice car. Like I say, that was basically on theme for what I'd like to do with this. It took every fibre of my being after looking at that car to not ring Bain Racing and get a tunnel ram on the way for my car, but I literally just can't afford it at this point.
Yeah.
That would be the ultimate, though. And I probably will at some point take my single plane off and put a tunnel ram on, I think. Probably when I get ready to bang 300 horsepower with the nitrous through it. Who knows? let's just focus on getting the thing running first.
Yeah,
But,
let's get
man,
started on the work.
Yeah, tuxedo black, slammed, big wheels, Holden engine, epically clean
It
interior.
had billet wheels, didn't it? Like
Yeah.
a show sort of style, like a show wheels style billet wheel, which you don't see much anymore. That's definitely more of like a. Everyone had that sort of style of intro billet show wheel style.
Yeah, it was kind of like, very sophisticated sex spec.
But it looked
sort
good.
of. Yeah,
it
I agree.
didn't look outdated at all.
No.
And it's kind of nice to see something a little bit different, even though it's not super different.
Yeah.
Yeah, tight. Just the stance. The thing that stands out to me the most was just the stance. He nailed it.
Yeah.
Absolutely nailed it. It's so hard to nail the stance on a car, I reckon.
Stance and wheels will make even the
100%.
most
We all
average,
know that. But
yeah.
even if you get the height the same, sometimes different style wheels look better when they're out a bit more, and some look better when they're in a
Yeah.
bit. I don't think you can just nail it. You can't just get a set of whatevers and tub it and dish it and drop it as low as it can go and expect it to just look good. It's not always going to... It'll look good, but it won't look like that.
No.
Like he's nailed it.
He's put the work in.
Yeah.
VH LT5. I thought that was Pro GM8 at first glance. It was the blue. It had like the light brown interior and stuff. But no, this one has the direct injected supercharged 6.2 out of a C7 ZR1 in it, which was pretty interesting. Very high
I
quality
don't
build.
think I even seen that one.
Yeah, you'd know what Pro GM8.
Yeah, I know what that looks like.
yeah.
That's been around forever. It's got the fucking that slammed on 22 FR22
Yeah,
on back.
looked
yeah.
very, very
that
similar.
thing's- Yeah,
But this thing had like full underbelly paneling, like it was
Okay.
all flat underneath. Like it was exceptional. Very, very nice build. This one hit
I
the
think
internet.
you already know what you're gonna say.
Caviar, VS Clubby. Hit me with it,
You,
Curto.
I wanted you to go first.
No. I've been talking a lot this episode. You need
Yeah,
to-
well, that's standard for every episode. Let's be honest. I think everything on the car, good parts.
Yeah.
All the work exceptionally executed, everything you want. But then the thing that for me and for a lot of people, it was just the personal preference.
Yes.
I did not like the colours at
No.
all, at all.
No.
I hated but that don't get me wrong. Like I'm not discounting anything. Like each to their own. Just me personally, the way my brain works and the way my bank account's set up and all the rest of it, those colours together just don't do it for me.
Yeah.
But
I think that was
me,
the idea.
Yeah.
Obviously. Like we're talking about it, so it worked.
A lot of people did like the look of it though as well. I did see a lot of comments of like people loving it. So
Yeah.
I thought that was cool. And I don't think, just for me, it was just a personal thing. I didn't like the colours, but
Yeah.
everything else I liked.
Yeah, I'm not here to yuck anyone's yum. I can see like the pastel thing, and then you've got like the satin bronze welds on it. Like I could see, that could work.
I feel like
I think the pastel color thing is probably going to come into its own in the next couple
that's
of years.
already in, bro. It's
Yeah.
been in for ages. Just ask Troy; he'll tell you. Like pastel's good, and I feel like if you had done one without the other, I would have probably liked it a little more than what I like.
Was it just because it was salmon pink?
That's what I'm getting at. If it was like salmon, but then he had to use maybe like a more, I'd probably use black instead of the bronze or silver or something. I think maybe I would have not disliked it a little less, maybe.
Yeah.
The fact that I could see what he's trying to do.
Yeah,
because
yeah.
I've seen people do the bronze or the tungsten or whatever different instead of the black or the chrome or whatever, and it works. But I just feel like for me, the way my brain, it just didn't work for me.
Yeah.
Really. But the actual build itself, I thought was incredible.
Yeah. So if you weren't aware, for those of you who didn't have a look, and I'm sure everyone's seen it by now, but it was a pastel salmon coloured VS Clubby slammed bronze, like it was like a satin powder coat, wasn't it?
Yeah,
Or would it be
I'd
like
say
an
it would have been
anodised
like
or-
I don't know because I didn't read or if anyone mentioned it, but it could have been like a Cerakote.
Yeah. Okay.
Like
yeah.
a Cerakote or
something like that.
Because it definitely had the flat sort of finish look to it, which sort of made me think more powder / Cerakote.
Yeah. So yeah, had the fat welds on the back, had the front runners, 6 litre, 76 mil turbo, pretty standard 1,000 horsepower LS combo, had exceptional fit and finish everywhere.
Interior was,
Chassis was nice.
Everything was mint.
Fuel system, the boot fit out was exceptional. I really liked the layout of the boot in that car.
Like if it had, put it this way, if it hadn't have been done as well as what it was, the car wouldn't have been received. I don't feel like anyway. I feel like the reason he managed to pull it off is because he did everything like mint, really, really mint. So good. Hats off to the guy. He's obviously, happy to step out of the comfort zone, which I think's great.
Yeah,
I'm glad he did it. And I hope I don't sound like I'm dissing it because I'm certainly not. I just didn't like the color combination, but fuck me, right? I'm glad that because otherwise, I mean, like if they had say just like dished FRs on it or whatever, in my personal opinion, I think it would have looked better, but it wouldn't have went across the internet the way it did.
No.
It would have just been another car. That says more about me than the car, really. I'm just boring, plain Jane sort of mid 2K guy.
Like I say, I think it did its job for him. Mitchell Hawkins is the owner. He's obviously picked that color combo, that palette to draw some attention and create some conversation, and it certainly happened. Dino Pietrobon's XY hardtop, one of none. Did you see that one?
No.
That was the two-door coupe XY GT sort of tribute.
No.
It started off as a 66 like US Fairlane.
Ah, yes.
And then they've put all the XY HO sort of fittings on it. So it was like, picture a HT GDS Monaro, but an XY GT.
I'll check it out after this. It sounds cool.
It was nice. It was red. It had the FE 427 engine in it. So, it's a proper toughie, and it's like basically someone said, gee, imagine if they built a Phase 3 in a coupe, and he went,
those Falcon
hold
coupes
my beer.
are sick, eh?
I like it.
Have you ever seen the guy that did it with a Fox body and an XE front?
No, I don't think I did.
There's a guy, I've seen pictures of it at like a car meet over somewhere. I don't know where. It would have been Sydney or Melbourne or something, and it was
Fox body.
a Fox body. I don't know if it was a notch or a hatch,
If
but
you did it with a hatch, I don't want to know anymore.
But they've put an XE front on it, and it was another. I thought that was a great idea as well. It's cool. Just a little Aussie flavour on it.
Yeah. Well, Aussie Fox bodies. Everyone, I mean, these things, early Commodores, they're kind of like the Aussie Fox body. They've got the 4-link suspension. It's not really 4-link, but it's got the parallel top and bottom
It's
bars.
stock suspension.
Yeah.
And
like
they're light.
They're light. Yep, you can buy the parts for them, and they got a strut front end.
Exactly, that's it. They've got all the things you need.
Yeah. We just not quite as hot rod as the US's are to get onto it as early as they did. You know what I mean? But we're kicking goals now. There's no question.
No, not at all.
But yeah, very, very cool. To round out Motor X, mate, BT1 King 2.0.
Yeah.
That thing.
That was probably my favourite one to see.
Yeah. Give people a rundown on what it was, if they didn't see.
Well, it's a fucking full tube chassis race car with a VL like roof and quarters grafted onto it.
Yeah.
It's pretty much the most craziest VL that I've ever seen, and probably what's ever been built, in my opinion, ever.
Have to be close
and
to
it will be probably the fastest, and probably the neatest too, because the quality of it is next level, like proper next level.
Yeah, fit and finish, fabrication, everything. Like, you look at it from every angle, and it's obviously a purpose-built missile, and it's got, because of that, it's got to be functional. It's got to be serviceable. Like, you've got to be able to, if they're going to race it, they're going to have to be able to fix it between rounds, kind of thing. So all of that has been thought of, except it's still top 60 show quality.
100%.
You got all the carbon fixings inside of it. You got the full front clip. You got all, just everything in its place, not only for function, but definitely had the form.
Everything's the best of the best of everything.
Yeah. I'm not even a
and it's
VL.
yeah.
I'm not even a VL aficionado, but damn,
That was probably
thing.
my favourite one to see, and the Jun 3
Oh yeah,
GDR.
June 3, yeah.
Like that was the exact same build, but in a GDR, really.
Yeah.
On another level.
Yeah. The RB thing, man. It's
Yeah.
certainly hitting at the moment.
It is.
Want to talk about Mac Daddy?
Yeah. Yeah. Have you been watching it?
Well, so
Well, the vlog series. So I'll explain it. It's
the last 2 weeks of my life can be summed up by 2 words: corporate restructure, which means everyone's taken their foot off the gas and shit's just gone pear. So I actually managed to look, don't tell my boss, guys, but I spent 2 days in my theatre room binge watching all the Mac Daddy vlogs.
I've been watching them every day as they come out.
Yeah.
Pretty much every day to 2 days.
Yeah, yeah.
Not watching them start to finish, I'm not going to lie. It's sort of...
You're not really a start to finish YouTube.
Well, I am, but like I can only listen to so much shit being dribbled, like, which was good. That was the good part of it. But I'm like, I just want to watch the passes or watch when they're talking about what they're doing or whatever. Like I can only watch so much banter from before I'm like, so I probably missed some gold nuggets in there. And also most of them went for like
an hour,
50 minutes to an hour, and let's slipstream this a little bit.
Yeah.
But a lot of trials and tribulations.
Yeah.
As you'd expect.
Yeah. So the Matuk Racing Camp, essentially, well, Mirad has built Mac Daddy, which is the car which they sent to America. Well, they had built in Puerto Rico and sent to America to take out the import world record.
That's what their goal is.
The RB world record start, then the world record. I think what's the 565 or something, or 556 maybe, was the world record, which is held by
the
2J.
import,
2JZ over
natty
in the
car.
States. Yeah. And that's what they were going over for. Now, the video series will show you that it doesn't matter how much money you throw at something, how much you've meticulously planned. You can send literally 9 spare engines, and they fucking did send 9 spare engines to the US, hoping that they had all their bases covered, and you're still going to run into
You know how
problems.
Murphy's Law works. It's the bit you don't have or the thing you can't control.
Yeah.
And they had each one of those things numerous times, I think. So
Yeah, absolutely.
they've done well. They got a good team, like the best team, like they said.
For sure. They were committed. They were probably there for, a 2-week stint in the US to go over there and get the job done. And they probably slept 14 hours over that entire 2 weeks.
Yeah. It'll
whilst
take them 2 weeks to get over it, for sure.
Thrashing on it. It was, it's a really good series. If you haven't, shout out to them. Their media guy did an exceptional job on stitching those videos together as well. Did a really, really good job. So head to Mac Daddy. It's MAKDDY on YouTube, and you can watch the series because it gives you a real insight to what it would take to be part of a real race team. And they're a small race team by most accounts. You know, they had the essentials. But they had the right people in the right place.
Yeah.
Anthony Matuk is a madman.
Yes.
He'd be hard to live with.
He looks like hard work. Like, and there's no disrespect, but yeah.
Absolutely.
To be that much, to be who he is, you can't have both, can you? You've got to be like that and be that hard headed in that way. That's what's got him to where he is.
Yeah.
So, but yeah.
And never one to miss an opportunity to make you seem like a piece of shit. But I saw a lot of similarities in his personality to yours because if
I didn't actually think of that.
If
Thanks,
Anthony is not at 100%, he might as well be at 0, and that's you. If one thing, just a minor inconvenience pops up, you go, "Nah, this is fine."
But when we're firing, we're off.
Yeah,
it's good.
yeah. Oh, look, when things are going good, things are good. But yeah, it was funny. He's a larrikin, man, and you can tell
They all are.
very passionate, particularly about the RBs, particularly about Haltech.
Yeah, it was funny. At one point, I didn't know if Shane was they were going to have a fight or something. I was thinking, surely this will be happening off the camera. Because he's just nailing like relentlessly nailing whoever is in the way.
Because
fucking Herman got clobbered
yeah,
by all of them. I think he copped the brunt from most of them boys. Eh?
he's a good sport.
He's
a
you
fucking
have to
good
be.
sport.
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
it was good to watch.
It was, man.
And the car is another gorgeous car.
Oh yeah, yeah. I mean, they had the best people on the case for everything, right? They had PMS, build the chassis and do all that in Puerto Rico. It was a full carbon body.
Yeah.
Like this thing is as gangster as a pro mod gets.
It was too light.
Yeah,
Essentially, it looked
and
like
that's what you want in a race car, right? You want
Of course.
to be too light so that you can put the weight where it's needed.
But you
to
don't
be.
want your brackets that hold your weights to snap off.
No,
You don't want that.
No,
And that's not a knock, but that's what happened, and you don't want that. So maybe just go up a wall thickness, maybe.
yeah, just put a bit of extra pano on.
Yeah,
the
just
TIG.
something, just something. But yeah, nah, sick car, and yeah, I think what held him back in the end when you watched the last episode. I don't want to ruin it for anyone, but essentially they rushed the wiring guy. They hadn't communicated when they were getting there, and the wiring got super rushed. I think they said they got the whole wiring done from start to finish in like 3 or 4 days when it would normally take like 2 or 3 weeks.
Yeah.
And I think that's what their main gremlin was,
Yeah,
with
yeah.
some noise in the electrical system, which basically plagued them from start to finish, and they didn't know. So
Yeah, well, it's so hard to chase down, right?
yeah.
Electrical is the biggest.
Well, look at that. Like
you start, like say, all right, so we've got a spark problem. What do you start with? The basics, right? Spark plugs, leads, coils. You swap them out a few times, but yeah, and then you go, all right, let's check the configuration on the ECU. No, that's not.
yeah.
Have
They're
you
lucky
got
they had Shane. Like I think
Yeah.
anyone else that could, especially with how much racing that over here. Say what the amount of racing that those guys can do over here versus what you can do over where they were is crazy. So they reckon they got bloody 6 months worth of racing in the 2 weeks that they were there.
Well, they were parked at Bradenton Motorsports Park for pretty much a week straight, with the track on private hire for a week straight, with the prep guy there, and so if the car wasn't on a cool down or having parts changed, it was in the lanes, ready to go.
Yeah.
So yeah, like you say, they probably did get 6 months.
They got a lot of track time, but also the track prep is just on another planet.
Yeah.
It's on another planet to what we get over here. And they race at Sydney, which is probably one of the better ones, I would assume. I think at least compared to what we race, or not we, what people over here race on.
Yeah, yeah. I think, Sydney and Willowbank are pretty highly regarded. But yeah, to then go over there, it'd be another level.
Same thing though, those guys are just doing it so much more.
Yeah.
So that means they're learning how to prep. Like, they learn all that shit quicker.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, it's a numbers game.
Because let's not forget, people literally just drive around the country there racing and earn a living doing that.
It's fucking insane.
And they're not like in pro mods or whatever, they're just in
Yeah.
like fast cars. Like, you can do that. You can go to this friggin' race, this grudge race, this fucking one, this one. Like, there's always something happening.
Yeah.
So, and that's what some of those Street Outlaws guys were doing even before that. They were just cruising around.
Yeah, well, yeah, a lot of people were making, a modest income, hustling.
Because
on the street.
that's right, because they bet over there as well.
Yeah,
So,
yeah. People bet $1,000 on a street race.
or more than that, but yeah.
Yeah, but like, just average Joe Blow. Like, like the Street Outlaws boys and the people that have proper grudge race cars, they bet more because that's essentially their line of business at that point. But even just old mate that's slapped a Commodore together in his shed, he's going out on a Thursday night and betting $1,000.
Yeah.
It's pretty wild stuff.
But yeah, to close that one off, I did enjoy watching them.
Yeah,
And
I
yeah,
did.
learning how they all work and stuff. So
Yeah.
it's good.
Yeah, stressful.
Yeah, you could tell. Anthony, I don't think anyone's more passionate about the RB than Anthony. And obviously, he knows what he's doing because those motors held in really good.
Yeah, as they said, even the first, they did swap the engine once, but even the first engine would have got the job done. There was nothing wrong with it. They just changed it as a precautionary or a diagnostic measure. Like, let's just swap the bullet out and see if it fixes it.
I'm assuming they'll be going back at some point and
you'd
getting
have
getting all their goals ticked off. So that'll be good.
Yeah,
They'll
surely
probably get a
better.
new harness built again and make sure it's spotty dog.
You reckon they'll take the Motec out and put a Haltech in?
I don't think so. I was thinking Shane Tecklenburg would bloody convert Anthony, but he might be unconvertible.
Yeah.
Well, he did go from bloody Microtech to Haltech, so
Yeah, true. He did.
Motec's just the next step, isn't it?
I guess so. Is that like a level thing? Is that like a tier? Yeah, it probably would be. Because
Oh, for sure.
the GPR software is something else, isn't it?
You can do whatever you want with it.
Yeah. Next.
Yes.
You know what really grinds my gears? Running on the chip.
On the chip, powered by our great friends at Reed Speed. If you'd like to get yourself some sweet accessory drive, Australian-made ability action, head to reedspeed.com.au. Tell Dan that you heard about it on Torq Hub because he'll roll out the red carpet for you, I promise.
Yep.
He does look
And a lot of you guys do it as well.
I was going to say, a lot of our viewers do head there. They do mention it, and that gets back to us. And Dan is nothing but appreciative of the community supporting him, supporting us. You know, like it all comes around in circles, right? Yeah. So if he
We'd
can,
honestly prefer that if you need to get something for your car that he sells, go and buy it off him, put it on your car rather than like buying a shirt or something. Like that's how strongly we feel. We want you to keep paying for these small businesses so they can stick around and they can make more shit.
Absolutely.
So we can put on our cars.
But in saying that, if you do need a new shirt, you can go to talkhub.com.au and get one.
Or a hat.
It's getting cold, Curto.
Fresh hoodie.
You probably
I
need
might
a
even
hoodie.
need to get myself a fresh hoodie.
And look, not blowing my own trumpet here, but just about everyone that I've sold a hoodie or we've sold a hoodie to will tell you it's probably up there with the greatest hoodie they've ever owned.
Yeah.
And that's no bullshit.
It's just facts.
Straight facts.
Yeah.
No cap. FR.
Yeah. So good.
So yeah, talkhub.com.au if you'd like to. While you're there, you could also send us a voice message if you like.
Yeah, do it. Hit the little icon in the bottom right hand corner on your smartphone. It says leave a message. Leave us a message. We want to hear from you.
Yeah.
Tell us a funny story. Tell us something.
Yeah. All right, that's enough self-promotion. On the chip, Curto, what do you got? Hit me with it.
Nothing particular other than just the general state of the country. It's been getting me down lately a little bit, and I'm not going into it because I don't want to. First of all, I don't articulate my words good enough to get my point across, but it's just a shit show. Yeah. And it always has been, and I've known it always has been, but they're really putting their foot to the wood, and a lot of us are getting upset because at the end of the day, the thing that we like to do the most, which is cars, racing, modifying cars.
And support Australian businesses.
Yeah, you need time and money, and those things are just getting harder and harder and harder to come by, and we're just getting fucked. And eventually, if we go on the trajectory we're going on, our kids certainly won't be able to enjoy the same sort of hobbies and careers that we do. So that's what's been getting me on the chip lately, if you really want to know, but I don't want to go in any more than that, and it's not really entertaining anyway.
No, we did mention it, I think, in the last poddy that we did, the two of us, that the election was coming up, and it's up to us to really sort of get a better understanding on how it works, because without that understanding, it's gone down a dangerous path. And it's one of those things, it's not until you get that bit older and you do have a family of your own and you have to start thinking about what their future is going to look like that you start to realise, like, oh shit. So no, it's a valid point.
It's not for the better.
No. I've got one minor on the chip. I wasn't even going to bring it up. I didn't want to give him the airtime, honestly, but
yes, this is how. Yeah, go for it.
So out of what would you call it? Just full disclosure, I guess, and just to clear the air a little bit.
Because we spoke about this because we haven't done this for a long time. When it happened, I know you sent me a message and you mentioned something about it, and typical Curto, I'm like glazed over. What are you talking about? I have no fucking idea, Jeff, because I'm just not with it. And anyway, so you explain it first, I guess.
Sure. So burnout competition, did that, right? Made the videos. I had some pictures sent to me. First of all, met a whole bunch of awesome people there, right? Some of them were much younger than our normal demographic as well, because our normal demographic is about our age, mid-30s to early
It's
40s.
30 to sort of late 40s. Isn't
That's
it?
usually sort of where it hits, but some of these guys were sort of still in school even, like older teenagers. Said that they love the content, or their dad watches and they watch with their dad or something like that, which is also amazing.
Yeah, that's sick.
Super pumped that, you get that extra generation in anyway. So I had every event we go to, if, people take photos of our car or whatever and they send them through to us. Got a couple of photos through. One of them was a ripper photo that I thought that'd be a cool thumbnail for the video. Edited it, put it up, bang, we're there. Turns out that photo belonged to one of the event photographers who posted that photo with a watermark. When I got the photo, I had no watermark on it. So I kind of thought it was fair game. It was a photo that was given to me.
Of course you thought it was fair game.
There's no watermark on it, right? So anyway, we've posted the video. I'm talking within minutes of the video being posted on Facebook. This person has jumped in the comments to say, hey, why'd you crop my watermark out? Why'd you edit my photo? Whatever. Can't remember exactly what I said, but you get the gist. For me personally, I probably would have got in their DMs and asked rather than getting in the comments, but I understand that that's going to get you that higher attention, I guess. Again, I had no idea that that was a thing. So replied to them straight away. I said, hey, really sorry about the image. Didn't realise it was yours. It was supplied to me by someone else. Can I purchase the photo from you? I don't want to steal anything. So they told me how much the photo was. I paid them for the photo. Double, you're right.
What they asked.
Just to say, hey, sorry, because look, the automotive scene is small. The content creator space in the automotive scene is exceptionally smaller. So there's no room to be treading on people's toes. That's not what we're there for anyway. So I was just like, hey, let me pay you for it. Paid for the photo. Everybody's happy, right? Well,
no, Jeff.
You'd think
it's besides the fucking point, you maggot.
think that would be the end of it, but no. Now the rest of the photographers in the region decided to jump in our
Grab
inbox,
the fucking torch and pitchforks.
get into our email inbox, get into our Facebook inbox, get into everything and start making out like we were the worst people in the world.
Which we are, but not because of that.
No, that's right, yeah. Try to do the right thing, I tell you, but
Fucking carry on, I tell you.
there was a bit of carry on.
And it might just be, and look.
Again, I apologised. I paid for the photo. Now other people have sort of bagging about it. So I get on to the Bunbury Burnout guys and I'm like, hey, so sorry if this has caused you guys any dramas, particularly with your media people, whatever, because wasn't the intention. Hope you guys understand where I'm coming from.
Look, the video would have still come out without the shitty photo.
Yes.
It was anyway.
Yeah. And obviously they're upset because I edited the photo, because you can't just grab a photo and make it. That's not a very engaging thumbnail. So I've put, I've made the car
a shitty
bigger.
photo taken in the middle of a speedway of a fucking
let's not
$5,000
call it a
burn.
shitty photo.
I'm calling it a fucking shitty photo. It wasn't. I tell you what, it wasn't a photo that I'd pay any money for anyway. Put it that way.
Well, I paid for it, and I was happy.
Yeah,
to
but you
pay
paid for it because you'd already used that and you did the right thing, and I think that was the right thing to do.
But I also think it's important that if you do go to an event and you do see a photo that you like, don't just save the one with the watermark and run that. Like, if you think it's a nice photo, then give them the couple of dollars, because at the end of the day, much like us, they do go to an event and it's out of pocket for them, right? The travel costs, the food, whatever. 9.7 times out of 10, you're not getting paid to do these things. Yeah. So if you do like the photo, just give them the couple of dollars for it.
People aren't going to do that, and people don't do that. And that's what my point is. Like, if I had something that I wanted to get paid for, I wouldn't put it on Facebook, where essentially you don't even own it anymore. Once you've uploaded it to social media, the internet owns it. You don't fucking own it anymore. Yeah. No one's going to put up any IP of something that someone can easily just copy and paste.
Well, it's like an NFT, right?
It's like anything.
Remember the NFT thing? It's
Not really,
No,
but-
this is a NFT. It's a non-fungible token. It's like,
Yeah.
well, I could just screenshot it and I've got a copy of that
Exactly.
stupid monkey.
Yeah.
No, but you haven't got
So
the
the-
$100,000 one that I've got.
So I just feel like it's a tough one because people want to get paid for their thing, and I feel like they should do. But at the same time, I'm like, if you're getting sick of cunts stealing your photos, here's an idea: don't put them up on Facebook.
Yeah.
And if they're that good and people want to pay for them, they're going to hit you up and they're going to go, "Hey, what photos have you got? Blah blah blah, whatever." Now I know people are going to take it the wrong way, but I felt attacked, and we are not the look. You guys that watch us, been watching us for years, we're not the sort of people that are going to fucking take from anyone else for our own. We just fully aren't like that at all.
Yeah.
And the email is what got me, that's what got me on the chip. That's how good my memory is, because I got on the chip when you come around and explain the situation
did.
properly. I was
You
fucking,
did.
and you were saying, we won't put this on the thing. I said, fucking oath we will. I'm going to be having my word, because I was just annoyed.
Yeah.
Because I can't remember who the dude was that emailed us.
Yeah. No.
And it was sort of like, this isn't the first time that you've done this and all this sort of bullshit. And it's like, and I haven't even asked you what the first time may have been, but apparently we're repeat offenders of stealing people's content.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Yeah. And that
Don't
was
put
the
it
thing
up
that
on
got-
the Facebook and don't fucking piss and whinge and moan.
Yeah.
I've seen other photographers in the past fucking complain about it. Like,
Yeah.
get out of it then.
Now that's the thing that was the thing that got me on the chip, is that, like you say, our integrity is pretty important to us. You know, like our level of integrity we feel is pretty stand up. You know, if we say that something's good, our audience expects it to be good. And we preach it all the time. If you're going to approach a sponsor, don't ask about what they can give you. Tell them what you can offer them. You know, that's our thing for everything. And that was the same thing with this photo even. It's like, don't expect that you're going to give me the photo. Here, let me pay you for the photo because it's yours, right? So that was the thing that really got me on the chip. The other thing that got me on the chip was the way that people made out like we were using that photo to make $1 million, right? And there's obviously the possibility that any video that you put up or any post that you put up could go viral and it could have some monetary value. I don't think a burnout at the Bunbury Speedway is probably that video for us, as silly as that may seem. But the thing, again, they're making out like you took that photo so you could have that video out.
You took that photo of you in that car doing that skid that was given to you for the guy that run the event.
Yeah. So they're making out like I've put it on this video so I can make tens of thousands of dollars. Now, full
That
disclosure,
is irrelevant, though, to be fair.
Full disclosure, by me paying for that photo, that photographer has now made more money on that video than we have. Because I can actually have a look right now if you like and tell you how much revenue that video has made, because I did take a screenshot. $10.84, Kurt, we've made off that video.
So
Now, so I paid for the photo. That's already greater than that amount straight off the bat. However, I also paid for my AASA day license. Even though the car was supplied, the fuel was supplied, the tyres were supplied, the helmet was supplied, my entry into the competition on the Friday night was supplied. I still had to buy my day license. I still had my travel there. I still had to feed my kids while I was there. You know, like, just like them, I was out of pocket to create this content for the audience to watch for free.
and to help our friend promote their show.
Their show,
like,
correct.
You know what I mean? We wouldn't have went otherwise. We were going to help Brad and his whole team and them guys, and we'll make a video.
Yeah. So that was the thing that really got me on the chip, and it was a little bit disheartening. But look, it's probably the first time that I've ever used anyone's picture to do a thumbnail. We always get our own picture, or we use our own screenshots off our video.
It's a
to
lesson
make a thumbnail.
learned anyway.
So, guys, just do a little bit of extra digging. If someone supplies, and I had a chat to this person afterwards. I said, hey, thanks for the photo, but you've actually done me dirty here by using whatever you did to remove the watermark
A simple AI app, probably, or some sort of
Oh,
simple
who
app.
knows? Yeah, ChatGPT might be
So
able
you're
to.
going to wreck the whole fucking photography's business model there.
Yeah.
Those guys are
But
going
I
to be
said-
fucking extinct in the next 2 years.
But I said to this fella, and obviously they thought they were genuinely doing a nice thing. They thought, this is a nice photo. You might like a copy of it. So they did whatever they did and they gave it to me. I'm like, fucking wicked. But yeah, I'm like, dude, you've kind of landed me in some hot water here.
But it's really your fault at the end of the day, really. You've got to take
and
ownership.
I've said that to
Yeah.
anyone that's jumped in our inbox or in our comments or whatever. I've said, look, ultimately the fuck up's with me because I used the photo and I didn't check. However, and then everyone's going like, well, you need to tell us who gave you the photo. I'm like, fuck off. The way you're acting to me, a fully grown adult who knows what he's doing, the person who gave me the photo was a younger fella. So how are you going to act with this kid online with your mob?
Fuck off.
Your mob fucking mentality. I wasn't having a bar of that. I was like, no,
It was
I will tell them that they fucked up and I will get them to apologize to me because at the end of the day, they done me dirty. I've paid you. So, yeah.
paid
Anyway.
you double what you should have got paid.
Yeah.
And no one would have ever bought that photo.
And you can tell that all these other photographers that jumped on telling me like, we're not going to support you at future events and this and that and everything else. They've
off.
never watched our content anyway. The only reason that they've came to our content is because we were there at the event and they were hoping that we would share their stuff, which we did. We shared other photographers' photos on our page with their watermark from their page, you know? So
I guess the whole thing was just probably how they handled it from there. And if they had just said to you, hey, look, did you remove that watermark? Like, you know, just come in a little more neutral rather than like just fucking presuming that
yeah.
you're the biggest piece of shit, which you are, but not because of that reason.
Exactly.
Different reasons.
Not for that reason.
I don't know. It's a weird one because I see where they're coming from. You shouldn't steal people's shit, but at the same time, I'm like, fuck off, cunts.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Let's just end it on that.
Yeah. Agreed. Let's move off of that, Kurto. We've had our little sook.
Yeah.
Like I say,
I know I carried on a bit. Sorry about that.
I kept it pretty quiet on the comments because you don't air your dirty laundry out in the comments like that. And plus, if you're just arguing on a keyboard, you're just fucking being retarded. But I did want anyone like who's particularly part of our core audience, if they saw it and were sort of thinking, oh, what's going on here? Now you've heard our side. Because it's only fair that you hear where we're coming from. Because there's a lot of people, like I say, in the photography space in particular, who ran with it.
Next time I'll take a shitty photo and I'll give it to you for free.
And obviously it got a lot of clicks because they start going, people are stealing content for this and that, and you know, it generates likes.
Yeah.
And I'm all for that. If you're just taking the situation to breed some clickbait, go get it. Because
good on
that's how social media works.
Unfortunately.
But if you're going to try and make us out to be proper fuckwits, well...
Which we are, but not because of that reason.
Exactly. We'll move on to something a little bit better.
You're going to finish strong there.
Our favourite part of the pod.
Hello.
Kurto, we already told him about it a little bit earlier, but hit him with it again.
Our merch store, torq.com.au.
But not only the merch store. If you want to get involved in blower wine...
Oh, yes. Go to the merch store, pick yourself up some socks or a shirt or whatever, and after you've done that, click the message us button on the bottom right. It's a little red logo.
On the homepage.
On the homepage. And it'll take you to a screen where you can press the little microphone button and you can leave us basically a voicemail. And if you don't like it, if you think you're fucked up, it's all good. Press the delete button and you can go again. And once you're happy, click send and it'll send us a little notification in our emails and we get to listen to it with you guys on the show.
Yeah.
Stories, anything. We kind of would love to get a little more engagement.
Yeah.
It'd be sick. That's on us to get that happening, but
And
it is definitely our favourite part of doing this.
Yeah, for sure. We do love hearing from you guys. And like you say, we would love some more engagement. We are going to work on something. I've actually ordered some gear, Kurto.
Some gimwine.
I've ordered some
ordered
gear
some
wine.
gear
You want
wine.
some gear wine?
Yeah, sick.
So there will be something...
Expert money spender, this cunt.
Yeah,
Expert.
I'm really good at it. But there'll be something that you could get if we think that your voicemail is good enough, you could get it from us, and it's something that you can't buy. We will not be selling this item. This is an item that I've gone out on a limb. It's going to be custom. It's going to be Torq Hub. It's going to be, if you see someone with this item, you're going to know that they won it from the pod because you can't buy it from the store. That's coming soon.
I like it.
Put the house on it. Anyhow. Costs you nothing, boys. Just, and girls, get in there. Give us a voice message.
Here you go, boys. Matt Brandis here. A couple of things. Just listen to the latest podcast. Sheds. Yeah, I've just finished packing up my shed and moving because we've bought a house after renting for 6 years. The amount of shit I've accumulated in that 6 years, it's insane. I've probably got 6 different bottles of engine oil with a litre in it. Still can't throw them out because, you might need them one day. But just the shit you hoard in that short time, pulling the shelves down, just finding stuff I didn't even know I had still. But yeah, the shed to get out of control at times, and trying to get in there and clean them is one of the hardest things I find to do. But most guys will. You get distracted, make a big mess, and then, it sits there until you clean it up again. The other thing I want to touch on is, getting stuck in the shed and doing work on projects and stuff. You tend to get carried away on it, and it's easily to forget about your family. And, you think, I'm just stuck in the shed quickly on the Saturday, do a couple of hours there where, everyone's waking up in the morning. And before you know it, it's 2, 3 o'clock in the afternoon and you're buggered and can't be bothered doing anything with the kids. Sometimes I think we just have to take a sit back and go, nope, lock the shed up and take the kids out somewhere like to the parks, like you were saying, or a skate park, or even down to the movies, even though it costs you an arm and leg these days. But yeah, keep up the good work, the podcast, boys. Loving it.
Cheers, Matty. Good call out. Yeah. Well, the first part, the 6 bottles of oil with a litre left in it. Look, mate, you could probably put all that oil into one bottle if it's the same. I'm making a wild assumption there. It's the same grade of oil.
There'll be 6 different bottles.
Yeah.
Has to be.
Yeah. But yeah, I would dread having to move out of shed, your shed in particular.
Once you actually start working in the shed again, I'm sure it'll get messy. I'm the fucking expert mess maker.
Oh, yeah.
Well, this expert mess maker. I don't know how I do it.
Yeah.
I think it's just how I work, and I just have to accept it for now.
Yeah.
As soon as I finish with something, it gets put in the nearest
flat surface.
It doesn't even have to be flat, but just if it will hold it, floor, whatever. I'm the worst. Absolute worst for it. And my shed's always in some sort of constant, it's constantly in a state of
disrepair.
Yeah, pretty much. Like, I can have massive clean outs, tip runs, you name it, and within no time at all.
It's like every 3 or 4 months, it's like, right, we need to, and like you say, we'll spend the day, we'll do the cleanup, we'll do the tip run.
And whatever. I'm always like, oh, this is the best.
A week later.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've, there's a lot of really good videos on YouTube about how you can do some good storage solutions for sheds. So definitely go down that rabbit hole. If you've got a shed and you've got heaps of shit, maybe take a pause on our video for a little while and go and watch some of those, because that will enrich your life. Maybe we should do some videos on that at some point. Actually, we can't.
Maybe we should do it to then do videos.
Yeah, I was going to say, yeah. But I've taken time where I've grabbed all of my random screws and bolts and nuts and washers and whatever, and I've sorted them all. I've got like one fishing tackle container for metric bolts, and it's all, separated. Your M4, 5, 6, 8, 10, 12, whatever. I've got another one for imperial bolts and nuts, 1/4 inch all the way up to, I think 3/4 inch. Then I've got another one for like screws, wood and metal screws, then one for like heat shrink, one for O-rings. Get some of that happening, because it's really good when you go, fuck, I need an M6 bolt, and instead of going through those shitty little hanging packets that were from Bunnings and they've still got 1 or 2 bolts in it, you just grab that fishing tackle container, open up, it's labelled, you know where it is, you just grab it and go. Really, really good. Just stuff like that. Get everything on wheels and off the ground if you can. That is the ultimate hack. But sometimes, like you say, you just accumulate shit. And I know once my SLE is finished, I've basically got half a car's worth of parts that I do not need, but I refuse to throw them out until the car's together, because you know damn fucking well that when you start putting that car together, that thing that you threw out 3 weeks ago is exactly what you need. And can you find another one? No, you can't.
Every time.
No, you can't. So, but yeah, once the SLE's done, all of you VH boys, get in my DMs, because I'm going to have a fire sale on all the shit that's still on my shelf.
He won't.
No, I won't.
He's lying.
I am lying.
And the time thing on the second point, that's just
That's just how it is. We've said it plenty of times. We struggle with balance.
It's evident in the last 18 months. That,
we struggle with the balance. Our kids are at an age now where you do have to spend the time with them, and that means that you don't have as much time to film that video. But it is rewarding when you take the motorbikes out, or you go kick the footy down at the Oval, or, you know, you go out, give them experiences, because that they will remember Dad working in the shed, but they will remember much more fondly Dad kicking the footy, you know, like, or working with Dad. And this is the problem that I have, right? I'd probably get a lot more done if I could have my kids running around in the shed with me, but I can't film a video while they're fucking up everything, moving tools around, and, you know, I'm trying to film something, they're talking at the top of their lungs. It just doesn't work. So that's the problem. Plus, kids aren't content, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Come at me if you like. I don't mind if people want to put their family out there, if they're family vloggers or whatever. Cool. But for me, kids aren't content. I put myself out there. You put yourself out there, and we deal with angry photographers and all that kind of stuff, and that's fine. But our kids are too young to make that choice for themselves, and they don't deserve to have to put up with the repercussions.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Pretty bloody much.
Nah, you're doing well, mate.
Yeah.
Maddie, if you're thinking like that, then you're doing it right, because parenting is only hard for good parents. I heard that saying once, and it really resonated with me. Parenting is only hard because you are a good parent.
It is easy to be a piece of shit.
It really is. Yeah. Hell of a lot cheaper too.
Yeah. I barely break a sweat when I do it.
All right, let's get on to another.
G'day fellas, long time caller, first time listener. I just bought a jumper off the website. Sick, love it. It's a bit thicker though, because it gets fucking cold where I live. But anyway, I just want to know what your thoughts are. Sort of over here in New South Wales, I go to like Power Cruise and whatever else, and you see a couple of VLs and all that stuff getting around with red P plates. I absolutely can't stand it. Like, no one believes you that you're a P plater owning a 600 plus horsepower done up VL, but I don't know, even L platers, I want to know your thoughts. Cheers, boys.
The fake red P plate, what do you reckon?
I don't know. Is that a thing or what?
Well, I don't think I really saw it in WA Power Cruise, but yeah. I actually had this conversation with my wife the other day, and it's not Power Cruise related whatsoever, but there was like a new model Euro. It was like either a Mercedes or a BMW, like something pretty high dollar, right? New one. Obviously, a second-hand BMW can be picked up pretty cheap, but this one was like doctor's wife type thing.
This was that good.
Yeah, this was like that AMG fucking M3 type of shit. So, had red P plate on it. Now, my wife was like, how the fuck could a teenager afford? And I said, well, if you think about it, it doesn't necessarily have to be a teenager.
Doesn't necessarily have to be their car. They could just be borrowing mum's
Yeah,
car.
it could just be that they're borrowing it and they're doing the right thing and displaying the plate. However, I thought, what if it's an immigrant? What if it was a Pakistani doctor's wife and they've moved over here and she's only just got her license in Australia? She'd have to rock a P plate, right? So got old love in a $200,000 Mercedes SUV with a red B plate. Kind of makes sense, doesn't it? So it could be the same. You've got
So you reckon someone's got a
Habibi's
Pakistani wife?
cousin. Yeah,
Exactly.
Habibi's cousin. He's come over and he's needs
She
a Lebanese.
wanted a Lambo,
He's
so
gonna
she
say-
got a VL.
Yeah, he's got a Lebanese Lamborghini and Power Cruiser's coming. So,
Yeah.
he's just got himself a license because you got to have the license to do the thing. And there you go.
You might have hacked it. It might be it.
That might be the hack. See, it might not be, yeah, we don't believe you, you're not a people. And look, I'm with you, Alex, because there probably are people trawling for 19-year-old content creators of the OF variety. Going, yeah, check out my wheels, love.
Yeah.
Check this out. Yeah, mate, you're 43-year-old virgin.
Yeah.
Stop it. But
Stop
nah, I think, there could be merit to that. But at the same time, if you're at Power Cruise, just take the place down.
No, but then people won't know that you're young and you got a sick car.
Oh, yeah.
To be fair, when I took the ute that you used to own to Motivation, I was on my P's when I had them on.
Yeah, yeah.
That
Was
was a
that
long
because
time ago.
Is that because you made the conscious decision not to take them down, or just because they were up there and you just left them there?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, look, you're not doing a lot of thinking at 18.
No,
Are you?
no. You're doing skids, drinking, and fucking.
Yeah.
Not necessarily in that order.
Yeah. But yeah, no, it's funny. It is
Yeah.
funny.
It is.
The thing, it's kind of the same, but it's not really the same. When he's saying he doesn't believe people, I'm on a few different welding groups on Facebook, completely unrelated. But you'll get these posts come up, and anyone that's on these groups would have seen them. And they're just wanting that pat on the back, They're like, oh, I've been welding for 3 weeks or whatever. And the world's like, look, the world's not the best thing. It's not something that someone that's been doing it for a half decent amount of time couldn't do. But it's like, come on, man. Why are you asking for tips when you've obviously whoever's welded that
Is
has got it
proficient.
now? Like it's
Yeah.
good enough. Like
Yeah.
what do you want? You want a good pat on the back and say you're the sickest cunt? Just say that.
Yeah. People just jump on the internet because they just want someone to stroke them a little bit.
Yeah, which I guess each to their own. But it's like you don't need the bullshit backstory.
Yeah. People probably think the same about us. We put these videos up and they go,
We don't
those blokes
actually.
just want attention.
We don't, but yeah.
Yeah.
We'd need to put a video up to put those videos
That's right.
up.
Yeah. No. We just want to promote good Aussie businesses and the Australian car scene to the rest of the world, if we
Yes.
can. That's all we're
Definitely.
doing. I want to finish up on a positive note there, Kurto. Because,
It's just been a negative one, has it? No, it
not really,
feel
but there
super
was some
negative.
negativity in there, and I just want to finish on a positive note.
Yeah, sickness.
Some customer service, Kurto. We do.
Oh, yeah.
We buy a lot of stuff for our cars and friends and clients' cars, that kind of thing, and it's pretty easy to be let down.
Yeah,
I've been
it's
let
a constant. It's almost weekly for me with,
Yeah.
with the stuff that I've got going
Yeah.
on.
Particularly with the caliber of build, say that the Maloo is or this restoration is. You're trying to find the best in the biz who can, and by no means do it for the cheapest price. And that's the one thing that we've never done is race to the bottom of the price docket. We want someone that can do it in a reasonable amount of time for a fair price for the work that's being conducted. We do get let down a lot. However, I reached out on a Facebook group for a dash insert. I've got a digital dash for my setup, and no one does a dash insert to suit a Holly 12-inch Pro Dash in an early Commodore. Sort of put the call out to see if someone could do it. I've spoken to some companies. There's a couple of well-known ones that do 3D printed dash inserts. I've reached out, hey, nah, we don't, we won't, we can't, whatever. Great, that's fine. At least they're upfront
They
about
did
it.
mine though. I got mine real quick and easy from Mako, so I'll just throw that in there real quick.
Yeah, and that's because that's one that they've done before, right? But at least they were upfront with me and said, we can't, we won't, we don't. They didn't try and take my money and leave me along for a couple months. So I guess I got to be thankful for that. However, Connor from ProCAD Concepts, really good dude. We did a bit of back and forth on the emails and we nailed down a design for my car. As far as I know, this will be the first one that he's done for Holly 12-inch dash and a Commodore. Cannot speak highly enough of the dude. This is not a sponsored plug either. I paid,
What he asked.
again, a fair price for the work. This is totally custom. He'd send me a rendering of the 3D modeling, and I'd say, oh, can we change this, that, whatever, blah, blah, blah. He'd ask me to get a couple of measurements from my dash. Really fluid back and forth, really responsive. Dude, I cannot speak highly enough. And that is the thing that the Australian automotive market is missing, is that kind of customer service.
Yeah.
We both, because obviously we both monitor the email inbox, and you said straight away when the invoice came through, you went, dude, very reasonable price, very impressed with that dude.
And the work as well, like just everything.
Yeah.
You couldn't ask for any more.
No.
And that's what I mean. I thought, fuck,
Yeah.
it's pretty rare.
So shout out to him. Like, again, shout out to the guys at Penrite, Reed Speed. You know, these are people that we get behind for that same reason, and that's because they are genuine Aussie people who give you proper service, give you the time of day. They don't treat you like a piece of shit. There's a lot of companies out there that will treat you like, well, if you don't want me to do it, you can't get anyone else to do it, so you can go fuck yourself. You know, they just put the price out there and you take it or leave it. And I've felt that on more than one occasion during this build, and sometimes there is only that one person that does it, and so you do have to grit your teeth and pay double what you think it was going to be just to get it done.
Yeah.
But, yeah, if you surround yourself with companies like Dan at Reed Speed, like Connor at ProCAD Concepts, man, if we had more of those people in the scene, we'd be living the dream.
Yeah, definitely.
So I just wanted to give him a bit of a shout out.
Yeah. And it's be the after sales stuff as well you need, like, or if you have a question, when they've already conducted themselves like that, you know it's not going to be a drama. You're not going to be like hesitant to hit him up, oh, this guy's probably going to be a fuckhead again.
Yeah.
It's like, nah, he'll be helpful. Like Dan, you know, I've bought another 6-rib drive kit off him for another car that I'm doing, and he's nothing but helpful with, remember you got to do this, Kurt, remember you got to do that, blah, blah, blah. Like, he's just there.
Because
like,
he listens to the podcast and he knows you're going to forget.
Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah.
So anything you need, you know, and I've said, oh, we might be doing a different alternator. Yeah, well, you just got to get this bloody pulley, whatever.
Yeah.
So
Don't forget, you need this belt.
yeah.
It's great.
What more can I say?
You can't say anything, and that's.
And
what
we're gonna set the way, because we haven't fully set up yet, but we're going to be selling that Australian-made stuff.
Yeah.
Really soon, and we'd love to have all you guys' support when you are in the market for hose and fittings and any other stuff that we feel like we can get on the store that we haven't started yet. But we are going down that way, and we will be sure to treat those the way we'd want to be treated.
That's right. Yep. Particularly, yeah, like I say, Speedflow, we'll be making some of our own, or you'll be making some parts because I can't make fuck all. But I've been doing some metal work, actually. I showed you the other day. I made a bracket.
Yeah.
You proud of me, Dad?
That was pretty good.
Nice.
I taught you well, mate.
You did.
All those hours of footage of watching me fucking...
I was going to say, yeah, watching you
You've
do
more
it.
or less done a pre-apprenticeship
Yeah.
at this point, just watching me glue shit together.
I had to watch
Surely.
you do it, and then I had to watch you do it again when I edited the video. Yeah. Talkhub.com.au, folks. You can go and get yourself some merch. That is the best way that you can support the channel and get some gangster threads in return. But you don't even have to do that. You don't even have to spend a cent to support us. You can just like this video, share the channel with your friends, and interact. Send us voicemail.
If you're feeling super sporty, subscribe.
Yeah, it doesn't cost you anything. You can have a free lifetime subscription just by pressing, there's a button down there somewhere. Just down there. Just down that way. Just down there.
You've got to put it down there, I think.
No, it's there.
Oh.
Can you see it?
No.
It's there.
No.
It's just under the line, the red line where it's playing. It's just down there.
Roger.
Do that. Leave us a comment. Share it with your friends. That's all we got to do. That's how you can support us for literally $0, and that goes more than far enough for us.
That's it. And send us PMs as well. We got some PMs coming through. I had one guy hit me up the other day, asking something about some stuff we'd done on my engine bay with hiding wiring and stuff. And I went out and took photos and showed him some products, and dude was super helpful, and I felt good
Yeah.
for helping a bloke out. It's
Yeah.
not fucking hard.
And we had another bloke, Dave. He got in our DMs and said, "Boys, after all these years watching all your videos and stuff, I finally bought myself a supercharger kit," and he's pumped on it.
Oh,
And
how
I
could
was
you
like,
not be pumped on
"Boy, that's the go." Like, I was pumped for him.
that? Yeah.
Because
No, we do. We love it.
we're all winning together.
That's it. Thank you for the support.
Well done. You did well,
Fuck, I
mate.
spat that out good, eh?
Didn't ya?
Fucking hell.
That's it for now, boys and girls. We'll catch you on the next one.
See you, legends.
Well done, Curto.
Good shit.
Yeah, nah, good.